Hello, everyone. Welcome to Every Strand Counts with me, your host, Dana Wilson. Thank you for joining us for our Lock It Up for Success series, where we are featuring Sister Lock consultants. And today, our special guest is Lisa Joplin. She is the owner of Locks by Lisa LLC, and she's out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So, look, take your time. We're going to get started here shortly. Please take your time and share with others so they can partake in this conversation with us today. We'll get started. We'll be right back.
In audio.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Every Strand Counts with Dana Wilson, brought to you by Hair Cares Inc. We believe that every root, every lesson, every experience, and every legacy makes a difference in our lives. So we feature conversations with various leaders, authors, speakers, entrepreneurs who long to touch, move, and inspire others through their work. And I'm so excited about our series, Lock It Up for Success. And as you all may know, I've been a part of the Sisterlocks consultant family for over 23 years now. In fact, in January, it'll be 24 years. And what I think is so interesting, obviously, each client has their unique journey to Sisterlocks. But I was interested in highlighting the Sisterlock consultants who also have their unique journey and has chosen to transform lives through Sisterlocks, one person at a time. And so I wanted to highlight those individuals. That's why I decided to do this series, Locking Up with Success, where I feature Sisterlock consultants that's taking care of business. So today we have our special guest. She is Lisa Joplin. She is the owner of Locks by Lisa. Let me bring her to the virtual stage. Hey, lady.
Hello.
Lisa, thank you so much for taking time out. I know your busy schedule. Thank you so much. But please share more with our audience who you are and what you up to.
Well, thank you so much, Dana, for inviting me to your wonderful show.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I am pretty busy, as is all of us here with Sisterlocks, because Sisterlocks does keep us busy.
Yes.
Just a little bit about myself. Like you said, I am located here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm the owner of Locks by Lisa LLC Salon and Suite.
Okay.
It was initially just Locks by Lisa LLC, and now for the past 2 years, it's been Salon and Suite. So I have
Oh,
a very intimate suite, like it's about six suites,
okay.
very intimate suite family. I try to have one stop shop. I
Okay.
have, yeah, a nail tech, an esthetician, couple
What?
of licensed cosmetologists, and a couple of course, Sisterlocks consultants.
Oh, now that girl, you said a lot with that. You say that so nonchalantly and everything. That's huge.
I
So
love my sweet family. It's very intimate. Yes,
good stuff.
yes.
So you definitely okay. You got to take me from the beginning here. What How did you even get into the Sister Lock world?
Oh, look. Oh my. This is a story.
Yeah,
And a
I'm
lot
here
of
for it. I'm here for it. Okay.
okay, good. Well, those are well, okay. So you don't know me. You know me, but you don't know me.
Right.
I was a police officer for 25 years.
Okay.
Okay, so I was in law enforcement for 25 years, from 92 to 2018.
Oh,
Okay, so mid my career, I found Sisterlocks.
okay.
Okay, one of the young ladies came into the police department and she had the most beautiful locks that I had ever seen. I'm like, oh my God, those are beautiful. I want that. At the time, I was wearing braids, so braids was my life. getting the braids, getting them taken down, getting them put back up. So when I seen her Sisterlocks, I'm like, okay, this is a no-brainer. I can have pretty much the same look and not have my hair pulled out.
Right.
So I said, okay, what is that? And she told me Sisterlocks. I'm like, okay, how much did that cost? And she's like, $600. So
Mm-hmm.
you know this was way back in the days.
Yeah, I
So
know.
I'm like, 600?
Yeah.
Oh, that's uh-uh.
And you thought it was too much, didn't you?
I thought it was too much, and I laugh about that now because I
Okay.
thought $600 was too much.
Right, for
I'm
sure.
like, I'm not getting that. That's too much.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a year later, one of my best friends, I hadn't seen her in over a year.
Yeah.
She had Sisterlocks. I'm like, you wrong for that. I said, so right at that point, I'm like, I don't care how much they cost. I'm getting these. I'm getting Sisterlocks.
Good
So
stuff.
I did. I got them in '09.
Oh, no. Okay.
2009.
Okay.
Okay. So this is mid-career. I'm, still on the job. Um, and this is another story. Working on the police department, you're in your uniform. Sometimes you wear your hat, but most times you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Those of us who have low density hair, when you first get those Sisterlocks, it's like a
Yeah.
shock.
Yeah.
So I went through it with my peers at work. Why your husband let you do that? Excuse me, my
Oh,
husband? Okay. But got through that, trust the process,
that's right.
just be patient, and then finally they said, okay, I see what you're working with. So, as they went through that natural interlocking process and they became what they thought it should become, and
That's right.
also what I thought it should become as well. So
Absolutely.
that's basically how I started with Sisterlocks.
So what was the defining moment to then say, I want to do
Mhm.
them? Because I mean, it's so funny because even before you share, because when I
Mhm.
asked consultants that question, they said as if it's nothingness. But that's not what happens in everybody's mind. Everybody that gets sister lock is not trying to be no consultant. So
No,
something triggered. What was the trigger?
no, I wasn't trying to be a consultant. I was comfortable sitting in the chair. I was
Okay.
comfortable.
Okay.
So I got my locks, and then I finally started loving them. And this is another story that I want to tell.
Mhm.
Also, I
Yeah.
finally started loving them. So 6 months in, I want my daughter to get them. So
Okay.
she was 8 years old at the time. So I
Okay.
got her locks established as well. Um, and I said, okay, this is gonna be kind of a lot of money, for me to get my hair retightened all the time, for me to get hers retightened. Okay, well, let me just go ahead and take the retightening course. I can at least do my hair, save a little bit of money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did that. I did that first. Took the retightening class. Okay, so I started, loving doing my hair, and I'm like, I've never been a hair person. I had never been a hair person. I always was comfortable sitting in someone else's chair. But
Got it.
then I started liking to do my hair. So I'm like, okay, I think I want to try to do somebody else's hair too. So then I went ahead and took the Sisterlocks class to become a Sisterlocks consultant.
Wow. So
Okay.
that changed the game.
It did change the game.
That
And
changed.
prior to that, I mean, I had prayed. I'm like, Lord, I need some extra money. I have two young kids that want everything, need everything, into sports, and I wanted things too. So he's like, duh, you looking right at it, because I was so interested in Sisterlocks. I was always on the Sisterlocks website,
Right.
always looking at things. He's like, duh, you looking right at it. So I'm like,
Wow.
okay, let me go ahead and take this class.
So when you took the class, how easy or not easy was it to get clients?
Okay. Well, when I when I took the class, I had already had Sisterlocks. My
Right.
daughter had Sisterlocks. Remember my friend that I had seen? She
Yeah.
had Sisterlocks. So basically, I had quite a few people that were advertising, I should say, walking billboards.
Got it.
But back then, this was 2011. So back then, there was not a lot of social media going on. Well, I don't
Yes.
even think there was social media going on. If it was, I didn't use it as far as being able to get clients.
Okay.
So it was very slow, building my clientele, building my business. which was fine because I was still full-time working
Right.
as a police officer.
Right.
So I loved, I had gotten to the point in on my job that I could work 8 to 4. So I knew I was getting off at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I'm at work and I'm like, oh my God, I'm tired. But then I think, oh, wait a minute, I have a retightening after work. So
Yeah.
then I get excited, I get my energy up, so that's how my clientele started building, having my appointments after work.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So did you face any challenge? I mean, obviously that was slow, a little snail's pace with the getting the clientele, but did you face any huge obstacles at all?
I wouldn't say huge.
Mhm.
When I started in my home.
Okay.
I started in my home, so that's another reason why it started as a snail's
Pace. Mm-hmm.
snail's pace. Yes, because you really don't want any and everybody in your home.
That's right.
So it started off slow because of that, and because I was still working full time. So, but still, clientele was still building. Sister Locks was getting readily accessible. People seeing my hair, people seeing my daughter's hair, people think my friends. They decided to help me build my clientele by allowing me to retighten their hair and
Okay.
their family's hair as well. So it started becoming a lot. I started getting a lot of clients.
So what
Uh,
was you enjoying most about the experience of being a consultant? Like what was the driving force there?
um, I've always Well, let me back up. I was a police officer,
Right?
protecting and serving. I loved my job. I love protecting and I love serving. So
Yeah.
basically, Sister Locks, being a consultant, is pretty much it's very similar.
Yeah.
I don't protect, but I still serve.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I love to serve still.
Yeah.
So I think that's comparable, except they love to see me. My clients love to see me coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Versus
Okay.
being a police officer, most times they don't like to see you coming. Sometimes they do, but my clients, they always love to see you coming. And
So when did you how soon thereafter did you get certified?
so I got my locks established in '09. I
Mhm.
became a consultant in 2011. It took me the 2 years. I
Okay.
became certified in 2013.
Okay. Okay.
Um, After that, I went on to become R certified. So I
Mhm.
was able to teach my clients how to retighten their own hair.
Mhm.
And then, so I was in for Sister Locks. I loved the business. I loved that it was Black owned. I loved that it was female Black owned, and I was just completely in. So whatever, ever classes they had, I was taking them. I did refreshers all the time, and
Yeah.
I did, like I said, art certification. And then when they came out with the brand ambassador, I did the brand ambassador. And
That's
later did I know that I was really building myself up for
right.
all the qualifications needed to become a trainer.
Right.
But I didn't, I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about I wanted to be the best consultant that I could be for my client.
That's interesting. That's that's just how I go, right? You was
Mhm.
preparing yourself. You get
Mhm.
yourself in position and you didn't know the
Mhm.
whole
I
time.
did not know. I didn't know that. And like I said, I was just comfortable just sitting, being in someone else's, you know, before I became a consultant. So then once I became a consultant, I was just comfortable just gaining knowledge and just wanting to service my clients. I was good.
Mhm, mhm.
But
But
then go ahead.
tell me why it was important for you to get certified though,
Um,
because you were getting the clientele. Like,
mhm.
why did you need to get certified?
Once I got into the Sister Locks community and started talking to different people who were interested in Sister Locks or who didn't know about Sister Locks, there
Yeah.
was a lot of misconceptions out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of consultants that were out there that may have taken the class, but still weren't going by the book. They still weren't offering Sister Locks by the book. And I wanted to be an exception to the rule.
Got it.
I wanted to say, people say, okay, yeah, go to Lisa because she does it by the book.
I love that. I love that. I really want people to understand that this is some importance around getting certified in anything that you get yourself involved in. You want to have the credentials, right?
Yes,
You want to have the credentials. So when did you then decide to come out of the home? Because you started in the home.
I
So what
did.
happened that had you say, okay, it's time to go?
The clientele, it just kept building. Even while I was still working as a police officer, I had built up my clientele so much that I decided to go out of the home. So I went into a suite,
Okay.
even still working as a police officer. I had a suite so I went from working, my full-time job to the suite. And my husband's like, excuse me, you have a family. You have a
Right.
family here.
Right. That's
So, but
right.
I did do the suite for about a year or two,
Okay.
maybe 3 years, and then I came back home.
Did you?
I came back home
Tell me about
for
that. Wait a minute. Hold on.
okay,
Hold on. Hold on. Because that's we need to unpack that one. Okay.
yeah,
So you had the convenience of having it at your house, which is very convenient,
mm-hmm,
right? Very
mm-hmm,
convenient. You come out of the house because you had so much traffic,
mm-hmm.
and then you come back home. Why did we come back home?
We came back home because of my family. My kids were still young. They still needed me to be there after I got off work. So I pretty much was able to do both at coming back home.
Mm-hmm.
So I stayed at home until I retired in 2018.
Okay.
And then once I retired, I went back out again, and I never looked back.
So tell me what did you like about being at home versus being in the suite and vice versa? Because obviously you have experienced both. So
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say I liked being at home more than I love being out in the suite. I love being out in the suite more, way more than being at home.
okay,
Um, it was just um, I just had to be at home, and I had to make it work for my family.
got
So that's why you're you have to pick your clients very very carefully when you're at home, and you're not able to branch out as much. I felt,
mm-hmm,
when I was at home.
okay. So do you have any specific like success? Like when did you know you had arrived as a consultant?
I don't know about saying I arrived.
Well, you have arrived though.
I
Okay, so
feel
let's
that I have. I
okay,
really do feel that I have.
okay.
But prior to that feeling, I feel I'll call this my initial success story.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I said, I fell in love with Sisterlocks, so I always wanted to go to all the different refreshers, all the different classes I could go to. And one thing that I always wanted to do was every time I would go to a different city, I would look on the Sisterlocks website and see if I can find a certified Sisterlocks consultant who had a salon, because at that time I was interested in going back out and getting a salon. So one year, my church had a some kind of revival or something in Detroit.
Okay.
So I looked up the certified Sister Loss consultants in Detroit, and I seen a name, Robin Simpson.
Yeah.
So I um, didn't know that, because back then they didn't put trainers behind their names on the Sister Lock's website. I didn't know she was a trainer. I didn't know who she was. I just believe it was
Okay.
God's divine intervention that He led me to her. And I called her, and I'm like, "Hi, my name is Lisa. I'm a newer Sister Locks practitioner, and I just want to know if I could come visit your salon because I'm interested in getting a salon." She's like, "Oh, sure, you can come and visit." So, needless to say, when I went, I fell in love. But another backstory with that was when I told you I took the retightening class first.
Right. Right.
So, when you take the retightening class, you get the clip tool. So I became very proficient with that clip tool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once I took the Sister Loss consultant class, they give you the professional tool, the hook tool.
Right. Right.
Well, by that time, I was really fast with my clip tool, and I just couldn't catch on to that hook tool. So
Yeah.
every time I would go to a refresher, I would ask the trainer, "Can you just show me again, or do you have a tip or something that I can get used to this hook tool?" I just couldn't get used to it. So finally, when I went to see Robin, I asked her, I said, "Robin, I didn't ask a couple of trainers. I said, can you show me?" I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I mean, I know how to use it, but
Mhm.
it's always slowing me down. And I always revert back to my clip tool. And I know I didn't want to do that as a Sisterlocks consultant. I wanted to use the
Right.
professional tool. So she showed me, and it was like, duh.
Yeah.
It
Come
just
on.
clicked. It
Come
just
on.
clicked.
Good
It
stuff.
just clicked. And
Good
she's
stuff.
like, you are really, really interested in this. I'm like, I am. I'm really passionate about this, and I want to make sure I'm doing it right. She's like, you need to be a trainer. I'm like, oh no, I'm good. I'm good. She's like, no, you need to be you
Come
need to be
on,
a
Robin.
trainer,
Come on, Robin.
right?
Come on. Yes.
She would not let. She's like, you need to be a trainer.
Good stuff. I love that. I love that. That's pretty good. So you done went from a police officer to a whole sister lot consultant,
Mhm.
and now a suite owner,
Mhm.
right? So when did you do this change from not just only having your suite, but offering suite to other people?
I'll just say this: never tell God His plan.
Oh my Lord. You know
Because
what?
I was like, Lord, I just thank you for where I am. I'm good having my own suite. I'm just good, because I had retired.
Right,
I had built my clientele. I wasn't trying to build my clientele anymore.
right.
But then I started training. And
Okay.
even after I started training, I was always outsourcing my students to other consultants and trainers because I was good.
Right.
Every single class I had, Dana, someone, if it's not one, two of the students, would you please um, mentor me?
Okay.
And I'm like, and I was outsourcing them to different. I'm like, no, I have someone who can mentor you.
Yeah.
No, Miss Lisa, would you mentor me?
They want you.
hmm So but at this time, I had four consultants that wanted me to mentor, and I want my own space. So you're not going to come in my space.
Right.
I need to get some more space for you
Wow.
so that we can do this together, but in you and your space and me still having my space. So that's how that started, you
So
know.
you heard the call and you just ran with that thing.
Mhm.
That's
I fell in love with that with training and helping cuz back when I started, I don't even think the trainers told us anything about finding a mentor or finding someone to help you.
no, I know.
Right? It wasn't like that back then, and you did it way back, way.
You had to call just like you did, right?
Mhm.
You had to call somebody and say,
Yes.
"Hey, can you help me out? Can you show me this?" So
Yes.
yes, that is beautiful. So now,
And before I forget, Miss Dana, one of my last classes, one of the students, because the people I get, the students I get in my class, they're like um, leftovers. I don't want to, I shouldn't call them leftovers, but they come to the Milwaukee class because all their classes in their state and their cities are filled up.
okay,
So
okay, okay.
someone in your state,
Mm-hmm,
when I was telling them they need to find them a mentor, they're
mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, I already have one, and her name is Miss Dana." And I'm like, "Girl, you got the right one
You
there."
know what? You know what? That's good stuff. That's good stuff. That is.
Uh-huh.
I love it. I'm so glad to hear that you heard the call,
Yeah,
and that you ran with it,
yeah,
because
yeah.
people do need mentors. I
They
mean,
really do.
yeah,
It's different. It's a night and day
yeah,
difference in your confidence when you first become a sister loss consultant
yeah.
because you're out there by yourself and you're like, am I doing this right? I know I took the class, but it could have been something I missed in class. But
Mm-hmm.
to have someone right there with you, to have someone that's been down that road
Yeah,
and is able to allow you to observe and to help you with your building your clientele
right.
is just a blessing. And I'm glad that I can be a blessing and want to be a blessing to a lot of the up and coming
Yeah.
sister like consultants.
Pat yourself on the back. No, seriously, we have to acknowledge ourselves and give ourselves a pat on the back, because that's a huge transformation you just did, from being a police officer, becoming a sister consultant, doing it in your home, knowing when to pivot, right? Knowing when to pivot is huge,
Yes.
right?
And it's okay if you have to go back.
It's okay. It's okay. It really is. And then hearing the call, and then creating opportunities for other people. That's
Yes.
your stuff. That's major stuff. So we hear the beautiful stories. Can you share with, I mean, if you're talking to that new consultant, can you share any challenges that you faced, and how you worked through that?
Um, I always revert back to me as a client. I always tell the newer Sisterlock consultants, put yourself in that chair. Okay. Treat them how you would have wanted to be treated if you were sitting in that chair. Because when I first got my locks established, I was older and I went to a trainee. So she just assumed that I had done my research. I hadn't done my research. I seen someone with beautiful locks and I'm like, that's what I want. So because you know how braids are, you get out of the chair, you looking cute.
Right.
So I just assumed that that's the same thing that was going to happen to me when I got out of the chair. I got out of the chair and I cried. As old as I was, I'm like, my hair don't look like yours. But she just assumed, I guess, because I was older, that I had done my research. And I tell every consultant, make sure you do a consultation, and a complete consultation. Make sure that they know what they're getting into. Make sure that they know that there's a natural interlocking process. Make sure that they know that their hair is not can increase in size and mature, but it has to get to that point. I told myself I will never have a client like me. They will never be crying in that establishment chair.
Well, leaving not having a clear expectation, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, perfect. I love that, Lisa. Any inspiring words you can leave to these new folks that's coming?
Look, you know how our supervisor says, stay off social media. Social media is the devil. No, I'm just kidding. It is not. It is not. There is so much good information out there, but then there's a lot of information that is not correct. As far as misconceptions for Sisterlocks,
right?
Because people think they have Sisterlocks because they, like you said, they haven't been educated completely. So for aspiring consultants, those who want to become a consultant, and those who are newly consultants, get yourself a mentor.
Good stuff. I love that. So what's next for Miss Lisa? I mean, can we get a sneak peek of what the Lord is telling you now? Because he clearly talking to you over there.
He clearly is. And you must have heard my prayers, because there is something in the works. I'm not going to say.
Oh, Lord. Oh, okay.
Just beware. Just be on the lookout.
Something is happening.
Something is going to happen. Yes.
I wish you blessings on this endeavor that you're doing here with all these suites and anything else that you're up to. And thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you.
All right. I'll see you soon.
All right. You too. Take care.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us again. Every Strand Counts, and enjoying our series, Locking Up for Success. I will continue this series as I'm so enjoying talking to all these seasoned consultants. And please stay connected with me. Go to my website, haircaresinc.com. Follow me, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe as I continue more work featuring authors, speakers, entrepreneurs who want to touch, move, and inspire others. So see you soon. Bye-bye.